Yeah, guys. So welcome to another past paper practice session. And this time we are doing SBL's most recent paper that have been released, right? It's one of the most recent paper that ACCA has released, and it's particularly December 24 attempt, right? It's particularly December 24 attempt. So again, this particular class is valid for March 25 and June 25, right? So I'm requesting every student, those who are going to attempt particular SBL exam in March 25 or June 25 or so on. So this paper is really valid for you. And I myself believe is that in SBL practice, and more specifically, if I tell that all the papers that I teach, SBL and APM, practice is the key to pass, right? So therefore, you have to do practice to pass these papers, and that practice should be marked by an expert as well, right? If someone is doing a lot of papers, he or she is doing many papers but didn't get it marked, so they're not going to get that particular passing marks, right? Because you have to evaluate your performance, right? Targets without the measurement is not good, right? So make sure you get this marked as well. Well, the aim of today's class is to discuss this December 24 exam. If you remember that I used to post pre-scene analysis, right? In SBL, the more important thing is the pre-scene. So whenever the pre-scene releases, it's 2 weeks before the exam, right? It's 2 weeks before the exam, and the pre-scene releases. What we do is we conduct classes, right? So requesting each and every student, those who are going to see this paper with me, they should be taking all the pre-scene classes as well. So in the pre-scene, what we do, we highlight the requirements that are going to come. We give some industry insights. So December 24 paper, it's basically a transport network company, right? Just like an Uber and Careem, a transport network company. So ACCA have released this paper in this attempt, right? I don't know whether it's of September 24, whether it's of December 24. In fact, I remember that transport network company was tested in September 24. So this is the official paper of September 24 that ACCA has released for these attempts, right? So guys, see, past papers are like the medicines, right? You have to do the recent ones more importantly. If you're not attempting the recent ones before, so there's particularly, if you're not doing the recent ones, so that means you're not aware of the examiner's taste, like what exactly the examiner taste is, what exactly the thing's gonna be done. So therefore, try to do this, right? Again, I'll be posting this class, which is a discussion class of this paper. I'll be conducting many classes, right? So this is a discussion class in which I'm going to discuss the requirements and the scenario. So this is my WhatsApp number. So if you guys want to contact, you can particularly contact me, right? So this is a very first class of the past papers practice session. The papers that we are going to solve, I have solved many papers with you, just like Smartware, Highlight, CoFol, Dulls. These questions are being solved, right? So the questions that I solve with you, you should be learning from them, and then you should be reverting it to me while attempting by your own, so that we can mark it, right? So guys, one thing that firstly, there are certain pre-scene pages, right? I request each and everyone to at least read these pre-scene pages, right? Request everyone to read these pre-scene, right? Or go on my YouTube channel, in which you are going to see these videos and see these videos, right? So this is particularly the classes that I took, right? This is my YouTube channel. You must be having in front of you. This is the name, and this is the first class, I guess. Yeah, sorry. So this was the first class that I realized. This was one that I analyzed the pre-scene. This was the second. This was the third. This was fourth, and this was fifth, right? So the pre-scene, the pages that I am highlighting here, can be covered through those classes. In fact, in my YouTube, I'll be giving you the links of these pre-scenes as well. Sir, is it mandatory to see the pre-scene classes? Yes, it's mandatory, guys. The thing is that if you're seeing the pre-scene classes, so you'll get an idea that what requirements we predicted, right? What exactly the requirements were that we predicted, and what exactly the requirements are tested. So you could have an idea that what can expert guests can play a role here, and similarly, what exactly an expert guest can play, and how importantly after pre-scene SPL gets easy, right? SPL passing ratio is increasing. The reason is that pre-scene, because now you are aware of the industry, now you're aware of the requirements that are going to be tested here and there, right? It is quite a bit aware of as well. And similarly, I believe that this industry, the BAGO's industry, is kind of a transport network company which every human or every working professional is aware of, right? Like in my podcast also, I took my podcast with one of my Indian students. So she used to say that, sir, this industry was so easy to me. The thing is that for going to office daily, I used to go down to my apartment and book the Kareem and book the Uber. So these kind of industries which you are in touch with regular interval, so you can comment on it, you can do these things, right? So get back to the pre-scene. These pages that I've highlighted for pre-scene, you have to cover through these classes, which I have already taken, and I've already uploaded it right on my YouTube channel, so it's available. And after that, what we did after that, here is the first page. Now this is the real exam, right? See, they have written that this might be the September one and this might be the December ones, right? So here is this might be the December one, or this might be the September ones. As I told you, I remember about this pre-scene. This is of September attempt, so this is the most recent exam available of SPL, right? Most recent exam available of SPL. Similarly, I have solved the most recent exam available of APM as well. So this is the one, right? The first page, always an important page, right? First page is always an important page to do. First page is always an important page to do. So this case study relates to 3 tasks. So you have 3 tasks, right? And first page gives you an idea about the company and all that. You have read the pre-scenes first, so you have the requirement that these were my numbers, these are the KPIs that I've seen, these are the active customers. So I've discussed detailed of this pre-scene in those videos, right? So you must be having an idea that exactly how this can be done. So let's read the first pages. Now, Biago is a transport network company, TNC based in BLAN. You are a senior business analyst working in the finance department of Biego. So you are not a consultant now. You are a person who is a senior business analyst. So one single rule. These type of questions are, I believe, easy, right? One single rules. These type of questions are, I believe, an easy one. The thing is these type of questions, because you have one role and you have to adopt one type of language and you have to draft in that particular language. Questions like railco or any of the question in which your roles get changed, that means you have to adopt that particular language in your drafting. So that's particularly the keywords and the things that in your drafting, right? Reporting directly to the CFO, you're also often asked to carry out tasks for other board members and senior managers. It is currently September 2004. Then we have the following exhibits hand side of the screen provide information relevant to the case study. Now, what's that? So, portfolio information, an analysis of company's current service portfolio prepared by Biego's marketing department. So, you have got in first exhibit the portfolio means I believe that this must be, I haven't read the question, right? So, I believe that this must be the type of services that you guys provide, right? Because a lot of a lot of Uber and Careem type of businesses are offering different type of services, just like Mart. If you want something, if you want to deliver something, so these type of businesses are often increasing. And in fact, in the pre-scene also, your type of services were also given, right? In pre-scene also. So see, if you have what I highlight is that if you have covered pre-scene very well, this is particularly a really good thing to done, a really good thing to do, right? Then proposal for food delivery service, an outline proposal by a CCO for a new food delivery service. So kind of a food panda app that a lot of Pakistanis are being using. And if outside Pakistan, so there are also kind of an app just like Talabat. Yeah, recently I was in UAE, so there is a Talabat app which is kind of type of a food panda. So this is a new kind of a service that we guys are making up. So new service to be making, right? Then we have news blog, a news blog highlighting a recent cyber attack on cloud service provider in VLAN. So tech-based requirements, guys. In my classes, I always asked in papers like SBL and APM that tech-based requirements are tested a lot, huh? Test-based requirements or tech-based requirements are tested a lot, right? Then email from the CFO, a forwarded email from the CFO about CEO concerns regarding impact of disruptive technology. So see, this exhibit is from the tech-based, the cloud computing and the cyber attack issue. This is particularly to the disruptive technology. We have done disruptive technology in many questions in the theoretical classes as well. And apart from that, we have done it in many questions. I remember particularly in highlight, I remember there was a requirement of disruptive technology, the Airbnb service, right? So these are the issues. This is a practical paper, right? This paper analyze a person's daily life and makes a question. The examiners are like that, right? Then pre-scene information, which you already have used to familiarize with, releases 2 weeks before the exams are releases 2 weeks before the exam. We have familiarized ourselves. If not, then pause the class, go on to that particular pictures, which I have told you, and see the classes. So you would have been familiarized with yourself. Make the speed too, which you guys always do, right? Then yourself with Biego and the industry in which it operates. This information should be used to answer the task which you are using response options. Guys, my personal comment is, now my personal is, since I am a tutor of SBL for more than 5-6 years, in fact, the release of that paper, I used to teach that. So I particularly think that pre-scene have made this paper easy and short. Because if you remember, if someone is from those attempts, they must have known that previously SBL was of 4 hours. Then after the pre-scene, it's been made to 3 hours and 15 minutes, right? So how they have done it? So they have done it by reducing the data that used to be given in that 4 hours and making a pre-scene so that you are aware of the industry, you are aware of the expected requirements, you are aware of these sort of things. So you guys are aware of these sort of things, right? You guys are aware of these sort of things. And what you have to do, you have to particularly focus on the requirements now they are given. Now, the terms of the exhibits. Now, this is a lengthy exhibit, right? I remember I have an idea that this is a lengthy exhibit, which is basically your product, that how your products are doing, right? This is basically your product. And then this exhibit is a bit shorter. This is a shorter, and these are the requirements. So what I realize is that this particular paper has made short after the release of the pre-scene. Otherwise, you were used to give 6 or 7 exhibits, right? 6 exhibits, I remember, and they were supposed to be pretty lengthy exhibits that you have to read within the exam, in the exam to attempt, right? That you have to read within the exam, in the exam to attempt. Yeah. So before reading the exhibits, my particular comments would be always to read the requirements, right? I usually be reading the requirements first, and then particularly go on to read the exhibits. So now the requirements, right? So report to the CFO, which assesses Biego's current service portfolio to determine appropriate strategies to manage the portfolio effectively. Now, this is kind of seems to be a very easy requirement while reading, but now you have to comment on every service, right? You have to comment on every service Biego provides, and you have to evaluate whether they are up to mark or not, right? So you have to evaluate an approx, I believe, 15 to 16 good points, sir. But in 20 marks, we have to write 10 points. Each mark vary for each point vary for 2 marks. But the thing is, guys, that would you believe that all the 10 points that you have made is an easy one, or you will be getting 2 marks for each of the 10 points? It's not possible, right? It's not possible at all. So the thing is that you have to score at least 15 to 16 points so that we can expect, oh yeah, we're going to be getting and yes, not just consider these 20 marks, right? I usually consider the professional marks in the drafting as well. So if there are 24 points, so at least 18 points for 24 marks. But sir, how we are going to get these 18 points? Guys, we have so much to write. This is an open paper, right? You don't have to worry on writing. I'm going to give you so many points, and this industry is easy. Now, the beauty of this paper is if this industry is easy, this can be done easily, right? If the industry is difficult, so there is a problem that anyone cannot get these papers easily done if the industry is difficult, right? So the requirement one seems to be a good one, in which you have to analyze, I guess, first exhibit, yeah, because this is particularly this was the portfolio information. So I believe that you have to analyze each and every portfolio that they offer and how they are performing in that portfolios, right? How they are performing in that, right? That also matters a lot. Now, question two. What's question two? So these are a lot of plenty marks, right? So now the CFO recently received a proposal by CCO, the commercial ones. Now you must be knowing the rules of that. The commercial ones are basically business development officers, right? They have a role to develop the business which are commercially viable, right? So this is a business development officer kind of one. Be able to operate a food delivery service throughout BLAN. This is due to be discussed at the next board meeting. The CFO believes that the board will be concerned with not only financial impact of this proposal, but also how it can create value over time. So it can create values over time for all stakeholders. So that means now the stakeholders are considered, right? Not only money is considered, right? So that means you have by real integrated reporting, because that's the one that focuses a lot, right? That's yeah. So sorry guys, there was an connectivity issue. So I guess it's fine now. Yeah. So see, when there are stakeholders involved, when there are stakeholders being considered, so that means that now you are not going to be commenting only financial one. And here comes an idea of the integrated report, right? Here comes an idea of the integrated report. Now, in preparation for the board meeting, she has asked for your assistance in considering how the proposal could create value in relation of 6 capitals. So that means you have got a proposal and you have to make a report. In the last requirement, what was the format? The format was of report, right? Now, you have to got a report for the CFO which evaluates how the value created from the delivery proposal would be reported in the 6 capitals. Also seems to be an easy one, right? Now the requirements also seems to be an easy one. The thing is that you have given format, you have been given the format of 6 capitals, right, for BIGO's integrated report, and there is a CFO which evaluates. So you have to make a report for the CFO that how this project is going to be reported in the 6 capitals. So you have to read the report that we have of this particular project, the food delivery proposal, and then you have to write that how they are going to be reported in the integrated report. So I guess an easy requirements, right? So 18 marks and 4 marks. In fact, what I used to do is I used to ask my students once they are after the paper that what were the requirements. So I'm going to check the students from the September 24 that they reported me these kind of requirements or not, right? Because I have the numbers of them as well. So I can expect that whether there are multiple requirements for the multiple students or kind of a same paper. Yeah. So now CFO intents and the skills are commercial acumen, and it makes sense, right? Because a new project is being made, right? So new product, commercial officer is giving it. Right? So it makes sense that there will be commercial acumen. It's obviously clear that in these type of requirements, when the new products are made, when the new products are being given, so the skills are going to be commercial acumen, because you need to be commercially sound while evaluating that project. right? You need to be commercially sound while evaluating this type of project. Now, next one is, so how many marks? Yeah, the marks are 22, so approx 15 points, guys. Or make it 13, not more than that, not less than that. Now, the CFO intends to advise the board that should this proposal be implemented, it must set a range of appropriate non-financial performance indicators to monitor and evaluate the performance of the food delivery service, particularly in first year of operation. She has asked you to include this as an appendix to the report as referred, right? So that means that we have to make an appendix for the report. Now, what's section of the report? Now, students are really confused with these formats, right? Appendix for the report, section of the report. So we know how to make the report, but we do not know how to make the section of the report. We do not know how to make appendix of the report, right? So you'll be doing it. And this is the strategy of SBL. You have read the first page, you have gone through the pre-scene, read the requirements, like what exactly they are testing. You should be knowing what exactly they are testing. You should be knowing, right? So CFO, which recommends with reasons for non-financial KPIs, which could be used to monitor which could be used to monitor and evaluate the performance of proposed food delivery service. So guys, now here I believe a touch of APM is being given, right? Because the KPI CSF's related requirements are particularly to APM, right? So a touch of APM. SBL is kind of that paper that's usually includes each and everything. It's a commercial paper. It's a business-oriented paper, right? If you want to be the entrepreneur, you have to do these papers. Now, with reasons for non-financial KPIs, which could be used to monitor and evaluate the performance of proposed food delivery. Now, student would be writing, that's a profit margin should be my KPI. That's a roast my KPI. So they have written you that this should be, I'm highlighting it with the red color, that non-financial KPI, non-financial KPI. So guys, this is a difficult one, right? Commenting on non-financial, that means hygiene factors, right? The KPI of the food delivery service, the time, when are you delivering it? Do you guys remember about the Domino's deal? Like if it's 30 minutes late, so we'll be delivering it for free. So when are you delivering your food? That also matters. And I remember a funny scene in a movie. I don't know whether because the people that usually are on my YouTube channel that are usually the international one. So I'm talking about a Bollywood movie when a person used to order a Domino, and when the Domino arrived at a time, so he didn't get in front of him, right? And when exactly the 30 or 31 minutes gets passed, he just jumped and say that you are late, so I need the free pizza. So I guess you are referring which movie I'm talking about if someone is from the Asian region. So again, guys, non-financial KPIs, which could be used to monitor and evaluate the performance of proposed delivery service, right? So this is again at least 12 good points. And now the skills are communication. Why? Because the format is something that a student is not usually aware of. So communication majorly matters, the tone that you are using, right? And the format. So why communication skills? Because they know that you are going to make a blunder in the format. So why communication skills, guys? Because you know that you are going to make blunder in the format. So it's not usually known by students, the format that I've tested, and a tone also matters, right? Tone also matters here, right? So it's 12 marks and 4 marks, so it's 16 marks, approx 10 to 12 good points. Then third requirement, okay, and if we see second question, so it's 22 and 16, right? If we see the first question, it was 24 marks that we have. right? Then we have 18 and 4, 22, and 12 and 4. So it's 16, 22 and 16. It gets 28, 38 marks here, right? And then we have question 3. Now, see the requirements, right? Disruptive technology. We are reading the requirement, but the thing that I'm telling you, and using cloud technology, benefits and all that. So I guess 20 marks and then 18 marks, right? 38 marks are from technology-based chapters, right? 38 marks are from technology-based chapters. What I am highlighting here is that examiner is preferring tech-based requirements. In SBL, examiner is preferring tech-based requirements. This is the important thing that I want to highlight it with you, right? A recent cyber attack on cloud service impacted many businesses in BLAN. BGO was not one of those affected. So we are not the one, but we are aware that many people are getting impacted. CFO has been asked to chair a meeting with some BGO's investors to discuss the situation. And what I have seen in my working experience, that mainly IT is reported or is being adjusted under CFO, right? So CFO is kind of a finance and IT guy that have knowledge of IT, right? Softwares and all that. Some investors are concerned that they have limited understanding of cloud technology and how the risk of using cloud service should be managed. The CFO has asked your assistance in preparing some information. So 2 slides. CFO is going to present the slides that you are going to making and the accompanying notes, benefits and risks of BGO using cloud tech. Guys, we haven't read the exhibits, right? We are just framing the requirements. And the time I'm spending on requirement is very important, because once you are aware of the requirements and you are reading the exhibits, you can plot down your points. Once you are aware of the requirements and you are going on to the exhibit, you can frame the exhibits points that to be used, because these papers are totally of linking, right? These papers are totally of linking. Now, professional marks are available for evaluation skills, right? Evaluation skills, and the CFO has emailed you with information attached from a forwarded email regarding the conference he attended at Disruptive Technology. Asked you email response. So the format is email, CFO, which evaluates the extent which disruptive technology is highlighted by the CFO. CEO could impact BGO. So now, what are the disruptive technology? Then what are the disruptive technology for BGO? How it could impact BGO's business, and that's for 18 marks. Now, this is the requirement. Those who have industry sense, right? Those who have industry knowledge, they could attempt. Those who have industry knowledge, they could attempt easily, right? Like in highlight, if you have not seen the question, it's on my YouTube channel. You can see it. There is also a kind of similar requirement to the hotel business, right? So guys, evaluation, and then here is skepticism. Why? Because you are saying that your business is at risk. Why? You are saying that your business is at risk, right? So it's the skepticism that you're going to question it in an appropriate manner. So guys, if we just list down the requirements, and then in the next class, in the next part, we are going to solve those while reading the exhibits. So listing down, if I see the first requirement, it was current service portfolio, evaluation of current service portfolio. Okay, so current service, or make it with blue. See, if you have requirements in your mind, you can easily attempt this paper, right? So therefore, in SBL and APM, I always recommend to read the requirements first. So current service portfolio, that's your first requirement, right? Then the second one is integrated reporting, food delivery and IR. So food delivery and IR, right? Then we have KPIs, 4 non-financial KPIs for this. So food delivery and non-financial KPIs. Then we have cloud computing, its benefits and all that, talking about cyber attacks and then disruptive technology. So this is the paper that we have got in September 24 attempt, right? In fact, ACC have released many papers, just like Corjex was released, then PVS. Now, these are the recent papers that ACC have released. So in my crash course, I usually cover these papers, right? So guys, this is the requirement that we are going to particularly solve, or we are going to particularly attempt. In the upcoming been started, these papers can be done via crash course. If you haven't not even started the preparation, you can start through this. And yes, I'm posting, you can tackle it. So before the next class, what you have to do, you have to cover the pre-scene element through the videos that I've shown you. And then you have to cover the pre-scene element once you have done. And then you have to cover the exhibits. If you can read it, it's going to be a great one. It's going to be a great impact. And once we have done that, I'll be conducting another class in which I am solving one by one requirements so that you get an idea that how exactly these things can be done, right? So this is all from my side for today. Upcoming classes would be posted on the social media as well regarding the solution of the questions that I'm making, so that it would give you an idea that how exactly this paper can be tackled, right? Otherwise, for any help, my WhatsApp number is with you. You guys can contact me and we'll try to ace this paper in this attempt. Thank you.